Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Jack here. You're a realtor if you are in Las Vegas. You guys know that. But today we're going to talk about the real estate market in Las Vegas. In particular, we're going to go over a little bit the economy in general and what's going on in the economy with the forbearances, the unemployment, and all those things. But we're going to go into the specifics of how this is affecting the real estate market and how this is going to affect your situation. What are you going to do? Whether you're a renter, a buyer, or a seller, what you should do in this situation and how you can make some money up from it. So, yeah, let's get into it. All right, let's put me down there. There we go. Okay, so here is an update. The residential real estate market is staging an astonishing rebound. This is coming from Realtor.com. It's probably like the second one after Zillow, the second biggest website. And yeah, they're saying, hey, the real estate market is on fire, and that we are experiencing it as realtors here in Las Vegas. As far as I'm concerned, I'm having a hard time getting offers accepted. It's happening, but we have multiple offers on every house that we're trying to buy. But anyway, let's move on, and here we go. That's the recovery index for the housing market. And this, you have to consider, this is on a national level, but this is what's happening pretty much everywhere. Back in January and February, we had an increase. The real estate market was already set to be on fire this summer. However, because of the virus, we did have a slowdown, and it went all the way down to 83, which was a sharp decrease. But then, the recovery, it's amazing, the recovery that we've had. And right now we have all the people that were supposed to buy in March and April that are all buying at the same time, trying to rush it before the school starts. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. And here's another graph where it says pending home sales. And yeah, we've had this sharp decrease. This is since 2014. We had this sharp decrease this year, all the way down, and then boom, pending home sales. People are back shopping for real estate. And then new home sales, same thing. We had a sharp drop and boom, back up. The thing about new home sales is what's put them in that situation is the fact that they're not building nearly as much as they used to build, like right before the Great Recession in 2008, where everybody built a bunch of homes and we had way too much inventory. And what happened during the recession is they couldn't sell those homes anymore, which probably helped on crashing home prices here in Las Vegas. But we are in a completely different situation right now. So let's see what's happening right now. This is the average days on the market. And this is in the United States. We are up to 30 days on the market in Nevada here. And it's pretty much everywhere. Everything is going quick. Real estate is on fire everywhere. But the question is now, what's creating this, right? That was the question that we were asking ourselves at the beginning. What's happening? And we have on one side, we have the super low mortgage interest rates. We're record low mortgage rates. And then we also have the virus that created, that made people just stay in their homes and maybe not want to sell, creating low inventory, right? So low inventory, low interest rates that are pushing against what? They're pushing against all the unemployment. If people are unemployed, they can't purchase a home, right? So we will have a little bit less demand because people cannot purchase. Since they don't have a job, they can't qualify for a loan. And also the fact that people are maybe a little bit scared to buy a home during this pandemic. So we have these two forces that are, you have the inventory and the low interest rate that are pushing up the market, whereas people not buying are trying to push it down. But definitely we have way more push from below, which is increasing home prices everywhere in the nation, but also here in Las Vegas. And one thing that I have to say about this is that we're slowly seeing a decline in forbearances and unemployment numbers, but it's starting to go down there, even though we're nowhere near to what it was before. But you also have to consider that these people that are probably applying for forbearance are probably people that really don't need to apply for forbearance, because, to be honest, a lot of people are thinking, hey, this is free money for me. I can apply for forbearance in 3, 4, 6 months. I don't have to pay my mortgage for 6 months. So I can put some money aside for 6 months, maybe a year, up to a year. And then what they're going to do, the banks are just going to put it at the end of the loan. Or maybe they're just saving it up in their bank, thinking, hey, if they ask for it, I'll pay them. But if they don't, they just put it at the end of the loan. Hey, you just lived in the property for 12 months, right, for free. So that's what's happening right now, and I think that's what's causing people to apply for forbearance. I personally wouldn't do it, and I would suggest anybody not to do it. But I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to you wanted to trick the system and use, what's going on right now to try to get ahead. Hey, can't blame you for that. And then we have also the unemployment, right? People are still getting unemployment checks. There's this push from the Feds that they're just injecting money into the economy. Now we are still seeing a little bit of decrease in what's it called, inflation. So we are getting deflation technically right now, and the numbers should be out in a few weeks, and I'll probably do an update video on that. Which, by the way, reminds me, if you are not subscribed yet, subscribe to my channel, so you'll get the next video, and I'll try to update you on the Las Vegas market if you're interested. But anyway, yeah, in 2 weeks we're going to get the update from the Feds, and they're going to see if we're getting deflation or inflation. And it is likely that we're going to get a little bit deflation. Deflation is because people are not spending money due to fear and the fact that they can't go out and travel and do all the things that they're supposed to do due to the pandemic. And yeah, now they don't have this opportunity to spend money. So things are, prices are going down because of it, which is what deflation is a decrease in prices. But on the other hand, we have the Fed that is injecting money and is trying to inflate prices. So we don't know. Eventually, this is going to cause inflation. And I think the people that are going to take advantage of these super low interest rates are going to be in a great position in 10, 15 years from now, because we're going to see inflation is going to bring the real estate prices up like crazy, even though we might see a little bit of a decline eventually in the future. But overall, if you plan on living in the home, it just doesn't make sense not to buy. But anyway, that's my opinion. It's your decision to do what you want to do. I did want to go over now a little bit the situation when it comes to, I wanted to show you a little bit the graphs on what's happening in the mortgage interest rates. Right now we are at 3.3 right here is what the interest rates are right now, but I've done some loans where my clients are getting interest rates as low as 2.75. And if you go to a 15-year mortgage loan, I mean, it goes even down to 2.6, 2.5%, which is unheard of. And then the projections are actually that it might go down a little bit more, but I honestly don't see it going down anymore, because, I mean, the Fed's interest rate is down to zero. So, I mean, mortgage rates can't really go any lower than this. And we'll cover that in a second. But let's go over the housing supply right here. This is the year over year change. And we had just a huge increase in housing supply, well, decrease of housing supply. In fact, in April, we had no homes for sale on the market, and we're slowly picking back up a little bit, but honestly, there's no homes to sell right now here in Las Vegas, and we're having a hard time doing so. In fact, if you check out the stats, we are at the average sales price went up from 310 to 330, and we talked about this earlier, but let's see the months of supply. Look at this. This is last year in May. We had a pretty healthy market. I mean, we were selling homes and everything was good, and then we started decreasing the inventory. But then we had this increase because of the virus, and now we're going back down. And last time we saw this was in 2008, right? So huge increase in home prices, which is a little bit, it's not the healthiest thing for real estate, because people have to, have a hard time getting into their dream home unless they're overspending for their house. So let's see. Yeah, that's what I wanted to cover today. But I also wanted to ask, if you're a renter now, have you thought about buying a home? I think you're crazy if you're a renter and you haven't thought about buying a home. Right now, interest rates are 2.99%. Okay, if you get a home, you get an interest rate of 3%, maybe even lower if you buy down your rates a little bit, right? Back last year, we had 4% interest rates, even more. Okay, so we dropped 1% in interest rates since last year. That means you can afford 10% more home now in Las Vegas, because every 1% of interest rate decrease, we get 10% more purchasing power, right? And that means if a home was 300,000 last year, and you were getting a 4% interest rate, right now you could get the same home. A home for 330,000, but with a 3% interest rate. And if you can find a deal out there, which is possible, trust me, I'm helping people right now. They're getting good deals on their homes. It's a little bit more difficult. You have to be there within hours on the property to see as soon as it comes out on the market. But it's possible. You can get good deals. You can insulate yourself by having a little bit of equity into the property in case there is some kind of mortgage crisis eventually in the future or something. Real estate market goes down a little bit, which I doubt is the case. But it just doesn't make sense for me to rent right now. You're paying the owner to live somewhere, and he's making money off of you, which it just doesn't make sense. And so if you're a buyer, yeah, you can take advantage of low interest rates, and you can qualify for way more housing. Or you can just purchase a home and save money, because the same home last year would have not been as affordable as it is right now. So definitely a great time to buy. But it's also a great time to sell as well. If you're a seller and you've been thinking about selling, that's why everything has been so crazy here in Las Vegas, and everything is happening all at once. The combination between the pandemic that caused everybody to postpone their real estate needs and do everything a little bit later, plus the low interest rates is bringing buyers out, plus the prices rising and sellers thinking, hey, I can get the most I can out of my home. Why not sell my home and maybe go into a new home, right? So everything is happening all at once. And as a buyer, it's a great time to buy. As a seller, it is a great time as well to sell, because you're going to get top dollar for your home. And finally, you can get maybe some equity out of that home, and you can do what's next for you, whether you were supposed to move out of state or go somewhere. That's a great time to do it. Get some more equity out of your home, and then you transition to your next spot. Or let's say you're not in your dream home right now. You want to get into your dream home, right? Sell your home, get the most amount of money you can out of it. That way you can put it down for your down payment into your new home, and lock down super low interest rates on your home, right? And if you do not plan on selling your home, at least go ahead and refinance, because that's going to save you a bunch of money. If you had a mortgage last year or before that, and the mortgage is more than 3.5%, I suggest you speak to a lender and see what chances what possibilities you have, and it's probably going to cost you $0. You're just going to save a bunch of money every month on your mortgage. But anyway, that was the update, and that's it for today. I don't want to bore you guys anymore, but if you have any comments or any opinions on this, please let me know down in the comments, and please subscribe and like the video if you like it. And then, I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for watching. Again, this is Jack Graham with Simply Vegas. My phone number is 702-606-4815. If you need something when it comes to real estate, I'm here for you. Have a great day.